The clock is ticking and West Ham are making moves in this transfer window. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. My name's Anton, and I am bringing you today's West Ham Daily. Yes, our West Ham Daily, a regular feature that's been on the channel for many a year. We give you all the up-to-date news. Now, there is loads of content coming your way. I was on live last night about 5 to midnight. I went on Monday, and I stopped on Tuesday. I gave you some updates on the Kudus situation with him and his international setup in the AFCON with Ghana. I've also came to you this morning with news of Phillips is growing closer to moving to West Ham from Manchester City, and I potentially expect that deal to happen this week as well. But there is a couple of things, a little bit of housekeeping that we need to get across to you today. And the first thing is it's football prizes. Yes, they are back with the West Ham Network, and the prizes have been relentless and top-notch. And if you want to get yourselves involved, you have to get yourself across to footballprizes.co.uk to check out the West Ham updated prize today. And that is, without further ado, this really cool prize. Now, no matter if he does leave this transfer window, no one can ever take away from the fact that he did, of course, score a goal in the Europa Conference League final against Fiorentina, where West Ham did, of course, go ahead and win. Said Bayrama, signed and framed UEFA Conference League West Ham shirt. What an almighty, amazing prize that is. It is very, very cool. There are 135 tickets available. Tickets are close to selling out. The competition ends on the 29th, Monday the 29th of January at 7:30 p.m. Tickets cost you £3.95 to enter as well. There is also 14 instant prizes to win, which includes signed memorabilia from the match-winning player, Jared Bowen. So make sure you do get across there and get yourself involved in that fantastic prize. The link to the competition will be in the description below. What a top-notch surprise prize. We have had many subscribers contact to say they've won a couple of the prizes. They've won some of the instant prizes, so they're really enjoying that as well. But we are here, of course, to talk to you about some of the latest news, and I'm talking about deals being done. Well, who am I talking about? What am I talking about? Well, we've mentioned already Calvin Phillips coming to West Ham. That is, close, very, very close. But we've been handed a major boost in the race to sign this geezer here, Albert Gudmundsson, in January window. Now, he is firmly and has firmly been on the West Ham radar this January transfer window, and we're believed to be battling many other clubs for his signature in this particular window. Several reports are suggesting that David Moyes is in advanced position to try and bring this player in. We are hearing little updates coming from good friends of the channel, X, etc., saying that, West Ham are close to a couple of deals, and we're led to believe it could be Gudmundsson that we could be looking to bring in for around about £22 million, and that would be real value for West Ham. And he is an Icelandic international, and spending that amount of money on a player who's 26 years old, and with the output that he's putting into the team Genoa right now, then that could really be value for money. He's bagged 11 goals, 3 assists in 21 games so far this season. He's been capped 35 times from the Iceland international side, and he can play anywhere along the front line, but he's at his best when he's operating on the left wing or in that number 10 role. What's really quite exciting about this player, Albert Gudmundsson, is the fact that he's really clever on the ball, and he loves to play in a deep lying position and drive from behind going forward. And you could see that, if you've got Paquetá and you've got Kudus and you've got Gudmundsson and you've got Bowen, you've got options, you're creating options, and you add this geezer to that situation, then he looks like a real talent. He looks like someone that they've been looking at for a while, and he's got real pace, directness, and a very clever mindset in terms of his attacking play, and that would really add some massive value to our forward line. The issue is going to be simply, will this one be a reputable player to come in? Will this be a proper link? I'm putting this up there. I think this is definitely one we need to watch more than any other ones we've got apart from Calvin Phillips. This will be interesting. This could be a bit of a steal, especially when he's at the height of his career right now. Why would Genoa sell? Well, you know, £22 million for a young player is definitely a good deal for them. And he's been reasonably prolific wherever he's been in his career, starting off his career in the senior world for young PSV, who is the reserve team for PSV Eindhoven, playing 63 games, scoring 28 goals. Moving to PSV, not playing a lot of games, moving to AZ Alkmaar, 74 games, 17 goals. Back to young Alsmar, and then Genoa, where he's played 67 times, scoring 21 goals. He has, of course, scored 6 goals for Iceland in 35 appearances. There's assists there as well. He's got the all-round game, but like I said, I love the fact that he can play from a deep roll and drive forward. I think this would be a good deal for West Ham. You know, I'm excited about the prospect of signing young players. That's the key part here, but a player that maybe has a bit of something about them, maybe not a player that we all know so well from the Premier League and could be inflated prices to try and bring them in. But this is probably perfect type of signing that we've got in terms of what Tim Steidten and on the rest of the team is actually looking to do. So long may that one continue. Long may we keep doing and looking for quality players in and around the world. And I do think this one, Albert Gudmundsson, could genuinely be a good option for us moving forward. But I do want to talk to you about another player, and it's this player right here, Jota. He currently is in Al Ittihad in the Saudi League, and reports are still suggesting that West Ham are keen to look at a deal to bring Jota into the club. The problem I've got with this one is I have seen what he is capable of doing in the Scottish League. He did tear the Scottish League apart. The only thing I will say is that I feel like he is a little bit lightweight, and I feel like if you're going to try and bring a player of Jota's talent into the club, are you really advancing our squad for the better if you are looking to move Benrahma on? And the answer to that question, in my humble opinion, is no. He is 24. And he has had a tough time since being out in Saudi Arabia. He signed for 25 million for Al Ittihad from Celtic back in July, and he's only played 11 times in the Saudi Pro League and not played forever for a long time. Now, he does have, no doubts about it, some form of talent, and I could be a useful source for West Ham, but so many different things you need to look at here. 200k a week apparently is what he's on. So if he's going to come to West Ham are by no means going to be paying nowhere near that for him. Apparently he, like, more than 8 times his salary when he moved from Celtic to the Al Ittihad. He did score 28 goals, 26 assists in 83 games for his time at Celtic. And he is a very, very talented footballer. My concern is, as much as you are a talented footballer, can you hold off the opposition? And I don't think he necessarily can. I don't think he will be strong enough for the Premier League. But then again, who am I to make that judgment? I'm just little old Anton sitting in his living room or whatever you want to call it, giving you content, and I'm not a football scout. But I think you've got a reasonable amount of knowledge to know whether you think a footballer is capable at that level or not. And I think there's maybe different caveats of reasons why he's not worked out in the Saudi League. There's rumours kicking about, which I won't address right now, of why he's not being included in their matchday squads. But when it comes to Jota, I'm not going to lie to you, he's one that I wouldn't push the boat out for. He's definitely not a player that I would be massively keen to look at bringing in to the club. But I think either way, we are really keen on doing business this January transfer window. You add Phillips to the situation, but Genoa really don't want to get rid of their man Gudmundsson, who I've already spoken to you about. But for me, I think this would be a good signing for West Ham, a really good one. Again, like I said, at the height of his career, and 26 years old, and he's been critical to nearly every team he's played at. And I think he would be a very, very good signing. So let me know your thoughts by putting it in the comments below. Listen, I know we talk a lot about players. I know we look at the situation. Now, this one has and stands quite high up in estimations in terms of potentially could turn into something for this January transfer window. Jota, I think we're linked to him. I don't think there could be a deal to be done there, to be honest, because there's a lot of caveats we need to take into consideration. And I wouldn't be massively excited if Jota came into the club, but with Albert Gudmundsson, I think I could see the vision of what we're trying to achieve by bringing him into the club. So let me know, put it in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you are new around here. Join me for the Hammers headlines later on. I'll bring you some of the more news coming out of West Ham. I'm assuming there'll be plenty more news coming your way. Don't you worry about that. Take it easy, everyone. And of course, come on, you wonderful Irons.